Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be a different video than what I've posted before. Not that I have many videos to begin with right now, but I feel like this is an important video to make. So the other day I streamed the game What Remains of Edith Finch on my Twitch channel. I had heard of the game before and knew a general idea of what it was about. I was actually quite excited to play it and see what kind of reaction everyone had. But as I played it, it started to do exactly what everyone said it would. Just a sucker punch, just right in the feels. Of course. Who would have guessed? But to quickly recap, What Remains of Edith Finch follows the last remaining member of the Finch family, Edith, as she rediscovers her family's origins and the story of how each member dies. Through the small adventure, she's reflecting on the dynamic responses to a curse that hovers over the family. It is a morbid yet beautiful tale that is made ever more powerful by the medium it is presented. Throughout my life, I've always enjoyed video games, more than any other entertainment medium. I've always attributed it to the interaction and unique ability to present a story. But while I still stand by these statements, I have to say that this is one of the first times that a game has really and truly made me feel so much. For those who haven't played the game, stop here please, because I'm going to go into spoiler territory of a particular scene. So go play it, or go watch someone play it. It's $20, worth every penny. So good. I have no hesitation in saying that. So do that, come back, see the review of what I'm about to say, see what you think. Towards the end of the game, you end up playing through the story of Lewis Finch, Edith's eldest brother. It is revealed that he suffered from substance abuse and blames himself for the disappearance of his younger brother, causing him to distance himself from everyone. Lewis ends up seeking treatment for his substance abuse while he begins working at a cannery. And soon after, he takes notice of how mundane and repetitive his life had become. He begins distancing himself from reality by creating a new fictional world where he could explore and become who and what he really wanted. It became a force that ends up consuming his daily thoughts while at work and eventually his entire life. Because unfortunately at the end of the story, Lewis ends up taking his own life to escape this world, just to try to become part of his fantasy. This was the part of the game that I truly felt the emotional impact. Both because the topic of the story is so tragic, and also because of how the game allows you to interact and feel the story personally. The game has you playing out the monotonous action of Lewis chopping the head off fish on an assembly line in a dimly lit factory, surrounded by the grime and blood and bodies of fish. All the while you're doing this work, you get to witness the creation and development of his imagined self in his imaginary world. As he develops and grows in the ever more vivid world he created, so too does the fantasy bubble that you actually see, growing larger as you progress in the story. Not just telling you, but showing you, and immersing you in the recounting of his experience, fictional as it may be. This is where the medium the story is told really shines. It took no time to become invested in the fantasy world myself, feeling and experiencing the disconnection from reality, feeling the desire to see more of the fantasy world as it grows. The game didn't just show you. It wasn't something that you just watched. You lived it. And in my experience, it became almost impossible to not be able to relate and empathize with Lewis. It's also why it made it so much more somber and startling when the story turned for the worst. Even though I knew what was to come, The ability for the game to convey the thoughts and emotions of someone suffering from a mental illness and turning to suicide to try to find relief was harrowing. Even though I knew what was to come, the ability for the game to convey the thoughts and emotions of someone suffering from a mental illness and turning to suicide to try to find relief was harrowing. It brought an awareness to the topic in a way that nothing else has in my life. I actually found myself needing to take a moment in the middle of my stream to recollect myself from the emotional roller coaster that I had just experienced. It was uncanny how relatable the grief of losing someone as fantastical and unique as this fictional character was. Of course, this can only pale in comparison to the real thing. However, for a game to make me feel that way, well, to me that's extraordinary. I'm sure it has more of an impact on myself because of my own history and experiences, as do almost any story. This game, it only reaffirms my belief that video games are their own version of art, a powerful tool of education, and probably one of the best ways to truly tell a story. As a general review of the game, I have to agree with the various Steam comments and reviews and everything else I've seen about the game. It's top notch. The game is in a league of its own for the way that it is able to show you and help you experience the story that it has to tell. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening to my ramblings. It can get difficult sometimes. But, thank you very much. Truly. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about everything I've had to say. If you want to talk more about this or anything else really, there's a link to the community Discord in the description. I'd love to hear from you guys. Hit the subscribe button to stay updated on new videos. Bell icon, of course, to get notified. But, as always, have a great day. Stay awesome. Ciao.